Beautiful smile. Beautiful smile. And we are live. Happy greetings, everyone. My name is Chef Crystal Forman. I'm the owner and educator of Holistic Wellness and Health. And I'm joined with my special guest chef today, Chef RJ, or Chef Rashad, excuse me. And then we have Chef Anaya. Today we are going to use our beautiful green tomatoes from White Mountain Community Farm. We're doing a fried green tomato recipe as well as green tomato stew. So last week we did another green tomato recipe, which is the green tomato sauteed. Green tomatoes are very popular right now. They're in season because a lot of these tomatoes are not going to turn red on the vine because it's getting cooler in the northeastern part of the United States. So instead of discarding it or turning it upside down, eventually it will start to ripen. Just going to use it now so you can pickle it. You can make it into relish. But today we are going to have fun and fry it up as well as make stew. So say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Hi. So we're going to actually get started with our green tomato stew. We're going to serve that with basmati rice. I have two cameras going today, so we're going to switch this one over and join me in the kitchen. Okay, so you can hear. All right, so can you hear now? Uh-oh. I can hear an echo. Can you hear me at all? You can hear me? Okay, awesome. We are good to go. Awesome. So I'm going to start over. I think you all can hear me on the other camera. So we have two cameras going today because we have our special guest chef with us. So we have Chef Rashad and Chef Anaya. I believe you all can hear me earlier. Okay, so I'm about to start our green tomato stew. And I have my grapeseed oil in the pot, getting nice and hot. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of our mustard seed. And I'm just gonna let that saute just get a little hot and start to pop. And we're gonna add a tablespoon of curry powder. If y'all can hear echo, just let me know and I can handle it. Hi Naja, hi Tavon, hi Adrian. Thank you all for tuning in live and letting me know about the sound. So you can kind of hear it popping. That's our mustard seed. And to that, we're going to add our green chilies. So this is not habanero. This is our shishito peppers. So these are not as hot as some of the other peppers. The recipe calls for 2. My niece and nephew actually like spicy food, so we're going to go on and add these in. And I'm going to dice it up. So here's our peppers here. Make sure you leave the seeds in. That's the nice and spicy part. I'm just slicing it into quarters, and then I'm going to dice it. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. This is totally interactive. So I'm going to put our chilies in. I'm just slicing it in half. It's a little thinner. So my junior chefs are going to actually help me with the fried green tomatoes. That's a great recipe to do with young people. It's fun to do the battering. We have that in. We're going to add some turmeric to this. Turmeric is very high in antioxidants and has great anti-inflammatory properties. It's one of the ingredients that's in curry. And I'm going to add some coriander. If you don't have coriander, that's fine. I've done this recipe without the coriander, and it still tastes great. So we just need a teaspoon of the coriander. And so we're letting the oil get nice and fragrant with our spices. And now I'm going to go on and add my green tomatoes. So these are beautiful green tomatoes from White Rock Community Farm. They're part of the Farm Alliance of Baltimore. And White Rock Community Farm is located in West Baltimore City. So I just have it about this size. You can make it really whatever size you want. I like them to be a little chunkier. Our green tomatoes are not ripe. They do not have lycopene in it like the red tomatoes do, but they still have a lot of great health benefits. They're still very high in vitamin A and C. They are high in minerals, including iron and potassium. So the recipe calls for about 3 cups of diced tomatoes. You can add more if you want to, depending on how thick you want it to be. Yes. So our green tomatoes are not as soft as the red tomatoes. They're not going to be as juicy. They're nice and firm. They don't have a flavor like you're used to for tomatoes either. They just have like their own natural flavor. Hi, Leah. Yes, Adrian, yes. So we're going to use, you can use either cayenne pepper, black pepper, or even a natural pepper to help activate the turmeric. So in this case, we added the shishito pepper, which helps to activate the cayenne pepper. Activate the turmeric. But we can add cayenne as well. And if you do not have fresh peppers, you can add red pepper flakes. And which I'm going to add a little bit because they both like spicy. So I'm just going to add a little bit of our red pepper flakes. Why not? All right, so chop up a few more of our tomatoes here. And then we're going to add our coconut milk to this. So this is the full fat coconut milk. You want coconut milk that's in the can that has about 20% of fat in it. You can use the coconut milk in the carton, but that does not have as much fat. So if you do that, you might want to add a little coconut oil. So I'm just going to let that cook. And I'll show you all the finished product towards the end. but my helpers and I are going to go over to the counter and get our fried green tomatoes started. Hi, Etaf. All right, so I'm going to switch cameras. Please let me know if you all can still hear and see us. All right, I believe that everything's good. Thank you. So, can you all hear and see us okay? Thank you. Okay. Yes, all right, they can hear us. We are good to go. So our junior chefs here are going to help us make the fried green tomatoes. Chef and I is going to do the batter, and Chef Rashad is going to make our coating, and I will fry it up. So let's get started, Anaya. Chef Anaya, you put in half a cup of our milk, which is already measured out. So we're using coconut milk, just because I had some left over from our can, and I added a little water to it so it wouldn't be as thick. So we're adding a half cup of the milk. Then can you measure out 2 tablespoons of our flour? Yeah, so that's the 1 tablespoon. So we're going to do that how many times? Awesome. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. This is a great recipe to do young people, especially if you have more than one. But even if one, because they can take turns measuring, they can actually take turns doing the dipping part. And if you have an older kid with you, they can do the frying as well. So we have our 2 tablespoons of our flour. If you're gluten-free, you can use gluten-free flour as well. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of our ground flaxseed. We want to use the ground flaxseed, and we're putting that in the liquid. That's going to actually make it a little thicker. Our flaxseed is acting as a binder. That's good. Our flaxseed is very high in our omega-3, which is great for our heart health and helping with cholesterol. And then we're going to add in a tablespoon of our nutritional yeast, which is in the glass container. So the nutritional yeast has a nice nutty, cheesy flavor. So that's what we're using it for, and we're going to put in 1 tablespoon. That's good. And a half teaspoon of our salt. So we're going to use this measuring spoon. We're going to use pink Himalayan salt. So I love to use the pink Himalayan salt because it has 84 minerals in it, and it doesn't raise our blood pressure like the other salts out there. Sea salt has about 50 minerals. Look at that. It's on. A little more salt. So we want to this is inside. Oh, that's perfect. That's what we want. Half teaspoon. Let's fill that one up. So we're using a half teaspoon of the pink Himalayan salt. If you don't want to add salt, you don't have to. Perfect. Just put that in. Then you're going to use the fork and just stir it all together. And it's going to get a little thicker just in a few minutes. And so, Chef Rashad, we're going to switch off so can you step down, and we're going to have Chef Rashad step up and make our coating for us. Right, so we're going to do a half cup of our cornmeal. So that's this one. This is our half cup measuring. And I'm going to let you actually fill it all the way up. So cooking is a great skill for our young people to learn. Put a little more. It teaches them math skills. It helps with their readings. We went over the recipe before we got started. Yeah. Perfect. So we're going to use these measuring spoons here. So for yours, it calls for a half teaspoon of our paprika. So this here says 1/2 teaspoon. So this is the one we're going to use. And this is our organic paprika. Just measure that into our bowl. Let's see, we have our batter is done. I'm going to actually go show it on camera. You can go right over to the camera and show it to them. You hold it up. I think they can see it. And tilt it just a little bit. Nice. All right, you can bring it back. So we have our half teaspoon of our paprika. We're going to add a half teaspoon of garlic powder. So let me use that one. Yep. Perfect. That smells good. It smells good already. I'm just going to wipe that. And I'm going to do half teaspoon of our onion powder. So you can start teaching young people to cook even at 3, 4 years old when they're in the kitchen with you. They can help stir, mix, and as they get older, they can help you measure out the ingredients. So this is our black pepper corn, so we're going to do like this. So we're going to turn it for, so some people want to know like a great way to measure. A lot of times when you're doing this and you have to top off, you're just kind of randomly measuring out. But if you leave the top on and grind within the top, you can kind of measure that out to see if you get like a half teaspoon or whatever you want. So you're going to just go back and forth. Yep. Nothing's coming out yet. Okay, so we're going to put that in. And then keep on grinding. We're going to add a little more. That's good. That's good. Perfect. You're going to use your fork and just blend that all together. Oh, and our salt. Thank you, Chef. So we're going to use about a half teaspoon of our Himalayan salt. So this one, and measure that out. The pink Himalayan salt you can find at pretty much any store, grocery store now. But I love to get it from the Dollar Tree. No problem. Here, there we go. Put it right in there. And then you mix. And while he is mixing, I am going to slice our green tomatoes. We want them about an eighth to a fourth inch. Okay. Just keep on mixing, make sure everything's nice and mixed. Beautiful. That's good. And yours is nice and thick as well. Look. It's okay. Look. It's a moth. It's okay. You're all good. Sorry. So we're going to go in and slice our tomato. I'm going to slice it here, and then I'm going to hand it to you, Anaya. So I'm going to tilt it just a little bit so they can see. Beautiful. All right, Anaya. So we're going to start in the assembly line. I'm going to hand the green tomato to you, Anaya. You're going to dip it, and then you're going to dip. We're going straight from 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn my stove on. I am using canola oil. You can use grapeseed oil or avocado oil, but you want to use an oil that takes high heat. Perfect. You're going to batter it in the dry mix. And I can hand you this. We'll just keep on doing the same thing. Perfect. Good. So we have it nice and lit here. I'm gonna wait until my oil gets nice and hot. Here's another one. That's good. Thank you. There we go. And so we're going to get them all in the pan around the same time and let them fry about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. Thank you. And there you go. And so we're going to do up all of the tomatoes. I'm just doing one right now because that's how many can fit in our frying pan, and we'll keep it going. I'm going to actually check on our stew and see how everything's going there. Nice. Turn it down a little bit. All right. Does anyone have any questions about anything we're doing or about green tomatoes in general? Let's check. Yes, I agree with you, Chef Davida. Having kids in the kitchen is a great great way to teach our young ones. Great way to teach our skills. So our oil is just about hot. It's going to do. I know we're going to want to eat more. So let's do this. There you go. Beautiful. I'm just going to check the comments one more time. Whoops. Okay. All right. And let's do this one more. And I'm going to go in and start putting them in our pan. I'm using an electric stove right now, so it's harder to control the heat. This is all good. Okay. It's also good to keep the handle out of the way when you're on a stove to make sure that it doesn't tip over. So this is like more beginner chef skills. Beautiful. All right. You know what? Looks like you're ready to keep going. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to bring the camera back over to see our stew. And I'm going to show you all how I'm going to serve it today. So now, what I'm going to do is, these are the last two here, okay? Awesome. And we're just going to let this fry for a few minutes. So I'm going to go and turn the other camera on. Because we use the full fat coconut milk, it has a nice richness to it. It's a little thicker. If you were going to use another, so we're back over to the kitchen part. So if you were going to use a different milk that's not as thick as coconut milk, you could add a little cornstarch at the beginning to help it get thicker. So I'm going to actually show you how we're serving this. So we have our basmati rice, and I seasoned it with pink Himalayan salt and dried basil flakes. And I'm just going to add our stew to this. Turn it off. And this is the finished. It's hard to see all that steam, but this is our finished product here. So I'm going to go back over to the counter with our young people. All right, junior chefs. So I'm going to turn our green tomatoes. Awesome, thank you. You can see how golden brown it is. Can you see it? And one more. So, look up. Nice. All right. You all can wash your hands. So I'm just going to actually put some paper towel on our plates, or you can use like a flour sack for draining the oil off. So I'm going to check to see if anyone has any questions. Yes. So Chef Davida says that having the kids cook helps, especially if they're fussy eaters. I'm lucky that none of my nieces and nephews, I'm sure you're watching as well, none of my nieces and nephews are picky. So they will eat a lot of different things and willing to try different food. And I love that they like spicy stuff. I am not a big fan of super spicy, but I don't like my tongue from them. But they can really handle super hot stuff. So that's really cool for young folks to be able to handle that. So we're going to get our paper towel. And our plates. I want to give a couple more minutes on this side, but that is it for our fried green tomatoes. So usually when you see people serve fried or serve green tomatoes, it's always fried. So it's nice to be able to try different recipes with green tomatoes. If I have access to more, I will probably do pickling. So that's at least three green tomato recipes we have. Yes. So give me a second. I'm gonna let it get a little browner. So I think that is really gonna be it. So you all saw our stew, which was a hit at the cooking demos that we did. It was a hit at the cooking demos that we did this week, including the one we did at White Rock Community Farm and Park Heights, or the Plantation Park Heights Urban Garden. Yep, everything turned off. We wanted it off. It's good. So just gonna let that in the oil, and I'm gonna fry up the rest of these, and then we're gonna eat. So this is our appetizer. Nice, lovely green tomatoes here. Let these cook up, and that is it. So thank you all so much for watching live. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/holistic wellness and health. Make sure you subscribe and like our videos. Right now we are broadcasting to the Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland's page on Facebook, as well as Holistic Wellness and Health page, and we're broadcasting on YouTube. So make sure you are following us and liking our pages for Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland and Holistic Wellness and Health. If there are any other fall recipes that you would like to see, make sure you put a comment, and I will see about getting to that. We have several more months of fall. This is harvest season, and there's a lot of produce out there. So there's a lot of things that are available at the farmer's market right now that are not available all year, like sweet potato greens and some other unusual things. So we're going to continue to support our local Baltimore farmers and get some more produce from them and show you how to use the different ingredients. And if you're getting CSA boxes or produce boxes, it's really fun to just try new recipes. You can also go to holistic-wellnessandhealth.com, go to the blog section, and you will see recipes there. You good? All right, so let's say bye to everyone.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for watching. Peace, love, and blessings. Let that cook. Come on. Okay. Zucchini bread. Those do.